Happy New Year, everyone! I hope you're all doing wonderfully, and I hope that you've had a very beautiful start to 2018, and I wish you all the best. In this video, I will be doing my first installment of my numerology series, which I'm very excited about. I have studied numerology for 10 years. It's my area of expertise as far as sciences within metaphysics. I actually do numerology reports and have one-on-one sessions with people, but because of everything else going on in my life, I haven't really had the chance to get a rhythm and a practice, so that's always been a dream of mine one day to start that up again. But in the meantime, I will be teaching you guys how to find all the numbers that you have in your chart. In this particular video, I'm going to be explaining a lot of different concepts of numerology. I'll show you the basics. I'll outline some essential things that I have come across in these 10 years. Also, by the way, real quick, I put this crystal in the shot because the camera wouldn't stop trying to focus. It kept zooming in and zooming out, so that seems to have helped it a lot. But anyway, and yeah, let's get to it. So to start off, let's just ask the very simple question, what is numerology? Numerology is very simply the science of numbers and how they influence the physical universe, in this case, people. It is very much like astrology, but rather than the planets and stars having an impact on yourself and your life, it's the numbers that are associated with the moment of birth and the name that you were given. So the practice that I use uses the number from 1 to 9. There are many different books on numerology that you'll pick up that will start going into 11 and 12 and 13. I don't know actually how far they'll go to, but as far as the life path numbers go, especially, and they will have their own unique profile, but for me, I just always use the 1 through 9 system. One of the most common things that happens when I'm doing a person's chart is that they are worried they're going to get a, quote, bad number. So right off the bat, I just want to state that there are no numbers that have a special designated place for being bad or being good. There are no bad numbers. This is just, if anything, a symptom of how we see everything in such a dualistic manner. I will say, however, that there is a spectrum within the vibration of each and every number that ranges from positive to negative, and you can be on the positive side of things or the negative side of your specific number. Okay, so now that I've explained that, I'm ready to get into the basics. Every single person has a chart of 6 numbers. So I'll try to write big so that you can see. 6. And I'll just assign some random numbers so that we can go into what can happen here. Six. Okay, so this is a person out there somewhere. I just made it up completely. I don't know who they are, but this is what your chart could look like. The first 3 numbers come from your name. And then the last three come from your birthday. Now, I and I think most numerologists give more weight to these numbers on the right than your name. And that is because these numbers from your birthday are set in stone. You cannot change your birthday. However, your name, it changes. There's a very good chance that it's going to change. When you get married, you'll get a new last name, or you might have a name on your birth certificate, but you have a nickname and people call you something different than that. So yeah, I tend to call, just for all intensive purposes, the numbers that come from your name kind of like surface numbers, because they're superficial in a sense. Still very useful and will give me a lot of information about you and a lot of things actually, but they are not so much anchored like your birthday numbers are. And so sometimes I won't even ask for a person's name. I only use the name when I'm doing an official or professional chart to get the whole picture. Most of the time, if I'm just doing a quick reading, I will look at your birthday instead. Now, I want to highlight that this number right here, 6, is the most important number in your chart. It is your life path number. It is like your identity. It is literally the life path that you're on, but I will be discussing that in another video. In this video, what I want to mention is that even though there are only 6 main numbers represented here, there are several of what I call aspects or aspect numbers floating around. And this includes your personal year cycle number, which will be something that I talk about later, and also repeating numbers and intensity numbers. Repeating numbers are if a number shows up at least twice in your chart. So for this person, it would be 7. And intensity numbers come from your name. What numbers show up the most in your name? So that's sort of like phase 1 of what I want to talk about for this video. Phase 2 is the compatibility element in numerology. And this is where the combination of numbers create either like a dissonance, which is known as a challenge, or a neutrality, or a harmony, which is known as a natural match, or just a plain compatibility. When you get along well, you're not a challenge, but you're not a natural match. So what I want to show you on paper is a bit of a conceptual model as to what natural match, what numbers are a natural match, what numbers are compatible, and which are a challenge. So yeah, let's move on to that now. This will take a while, so I'll either cut some stuff out or fast forward. But yeah, let's start with natural match. One 5s and 7s, 2 4 and 8s, and 3 6 and 9s. Now I've grouped these numbers together to show you that anything that is interacting within their each group, it's a natural match. So for example, if a 7 and a 1 get together, they're going to be best friends. If a 5 and a 7 gets together, they're going to be best friends. So on and so forth. I also like to call these numbers mind numbers. V's business, and these are creativity. Honestly, without even going into great detail about what each number entails, you can see what a person is mostly composed of. For example, this person that we have up here, they have 2 7s, so they have a lot of mind, a lot of intellect, a little bit of creativity too, and a 5 over here, and a 2. So I would say a little bit of business, but mostly intellect and creativity. That's how I would sum up this chart. And that's not even going into, what each number is going to mean for that person. So I find that very helpful and very interesting as well. So those are natural matches. Let's move on to compatible numbers. This is where it gets a bit hairy.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Okay. So 1 is compatible with 2 3s and 9s. 2 is compatible with 1s, 3s, 6s, and 9s. 3 with 1, 2s, and 5s. 4, 6, and 7. 3, 9, 8. 2 and 4, 8 for 6. Just 4 for 7. 6 for 8. And 2 for 9.
Okay, and then challenge numbers. Alright, same deal. There is probably a better way for me to depict this, but this is what I've got right now. Yeah, so as you can see, it gets pretty hairy when it comes to compatibility and challenge, and it's very interesting how the dynamics of each number interact with one another. Compatibility isn't my specialty. I would say more working with a person and determining, why they do what they do, their strengths, what they need to work on, or anything that they need help with. Like, I'm much better at that than being a matchmaker. But it's very intriguing, and it's something that I am always curious about and always studying. The thing is that compatibility reaches far more beyond than what two people are going to do with one another, like what's going to come out of that. I mostly strive to understand compatibility, to understand how the interactions of the numbers within one person's chart has an impact on that person. So, let me look at this chart and see what I would say about that. Okay. So we got 2 7s here, 9, 5, 6, 2. As you could see from the chart below, 7s, for whatever reason, have a lot of challenges. They have only one compatible number and lots of challenges. And so, when I'm looking at this chart, the thing that will stand out to me is how the other numbers are going to be interacting with this person's 7 birthday number and 7 destiny / name number. This one right here. I will not only kind of measure up how many challengers there are, but do a deeper analysis of like, okay, well, how is this person's 6th life path going to interact with their 7 destiny number? How is that going to, result as a conflict within a person, and how would that translate in their lives? Very interesting stuff. And again, this right here is the most important number in a person's chart. So when I want to help a person be happier in life, to find their bliss, to find their path, how to get to their path, I will compare this number to each and every number and the placements and the vibrations they carry. So, yeah. I could go into much greater depth with this, but this is just an introduction video. So I think I'm going to stop here. Yeah, I think I went through everything. I know I'll think of something else later and be like, gosh darn it. Frustrating. But there will be many other videos. My next video will be doing the personal year cycle number given the new year, so you can look at what phase you just exited and what phase you will be entering into, and well, what you have already entered into, I should say, in 2018. And it's very, very exciting. It's very interesting stuff, so please subscribe, like this video. Please leave any questions that you have in the comments section. I love talking about this topic, and if I get enough, I can make perhaps a video which will be very beneficial to everyone watching and will help me try to figure out what it is that people have questions and concerns about regarding this. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all very soon.